saying is that
I'm like
you may be underestimating the strength and the persistence of the caste system based on skin color, because we had it here. It was very persistent. It probably only got broken up by our own Black Power movement in the 1960s. It was, and it was so persistent that as it was carried forward into the 20th century, that's what the South Africans were trying to copy in 1948. And we deliberately tried to impose it when we took over Haiti in 1915. So I just think it's a huge subject, and nobody can ever learn enough about it.
That's absolutely right. I feel like I should be taking notes in these.
Oh, but in terms of, like, there was no part of the United States economy up through the Civil War, at least, that did not benefit from Southern slavery and the Southern slavery system. And particularly the biggest winner out of all of that was New York City. Because, I mean, this was part of the grievances of the South for secession, though they didn't quite seem to understand how it operated. But New York shipped the cotton. They got money coming back.
Footnote.
They got loans.
Footnote. In 1861, for 3 weeks, the New York City Council considered whether or not they were also going to secede.
Exactly. Exactly.
New York was Copperhead. New York was the place that had Confederate sympathizers in the North more than anywhere else.
And
Because it had so
beyond,
many business ties.
but beyond that, even after the war, and when there was emancipation, there was no more slavery in that sense here in this country. New York businessmen of various kinds, it wasn't only New York, it was from Maine and other places too, invested deeply in the international African slave trade that was still transporting Africans from Africa to Cuba and Brazil. And they did it under the American flag, because the British, who were very anti that trade, did not stop and search American ships. So we would sell the flag to anybody. We could make profits coming and going up north.
There's a chapter in this book called The Slave Trade to Cuba and Brazil, and it's the subject in the entire book. It's not the subject of our book. And an editor could criticize me for, hey, you're not writing about the slave trade to Cuba and Brazil in this book. It's about the domestic trade. But I felt it needed to be in there. It's a subject that could be, I'd like to see opened up a lot more. I'd like to know more about it. It's not that well documented because, of course, it was a highly illegal enterprise. But it was huge because it carried gazillions of Africans to Cuba and to Brazil. Large numbers. And by then, these were ships, some of these ships could hold 1,000 people. And they didn't wait for months off the coast anymore, picking up a cargo, 1 or 2 people at a time. They were pulling up to basically, outlets where they were stopped with Africans waiting for them to pull up, load up, and leave. And they were steaming back, so less of the cargo died. And the money, a lot of money went to the north, I don't want to say to the north, to some criminal businessmen in the north who made a lot of money on it, and it's not a well-researched subject. It's a subject I'd like to know a lot more about.
This includes the insurance industry as well.
Thank you so much. Before you leave, we didn't hear all the voices, so everybody say when 1, 2, 3 something wonderful to the Sublettes. 1, 2, 3.